So we all know that it's a seller's market right now. But if you're considering selling your own home and not using a real estate professional because this market is so hot, there's a couple things that you should probably know before you make that decision. So today, let's talk about 3 reasons why you should not sell your own home. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric Schweenard. I'm a realtor licensed in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. And before we get into the topic at hand today, please consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on future content. And if you like this video, hit the like button and send me a message if you'd like me to talk about anything in particular in a future video. Without any further ado, let's get into it. So people are seeing their neighbors' homes sell, how much they're selling for, and how quickly the offers are coming in. And it's easy for someone to think, oh, I'm sure I could do this on my own. I don't need to pay someone to do it. This market is so hot, I'll find a buyer in no time. But the reality is, the best realtor in the world, what makes them good is that they make a real estate transaction seem really simple, when in actuality real estate can be really complicated. And if you try to sell your home without using a real estate professional, you could fall into some of these loopholes or some of these complications and not know how to get out of them. Okay, so reason number 1 why most people would think it would be a good idea to sell their home on their own is for money. People think that they can save money by not using a real estate professional. But that's not actually the case. Statistics have shown over and over again that sellers who use a real estate professional to sell their home get much more money than those who don't. So even though you might think that you're saving money, the reality is you're probably leaving money on the table if you're trying to sell your own home. In 2020, the average home in the United States sold for $295,000. But conversely, the average for sale by owner home only sold for $217,900. That's almost an $80,000 difference between those who used a real estate professional and those who didn't. So even if you're paying a real estate professional their fee in order to help you sell your home, you're still going to come out ahead in most circumstances, even though you're paying this fee, because a real estate professional that knows what they're doing and knows the local market is going to get you far more money for your home than you would trying to sell it on your own. What's more often than not, most people that try to sell their home on their own end up paying a real estate professional anyways, because a lot of times buyers who are working with a real estate professional will bring their real estate professional into the transaction to help them because they don't know what they're doing. Reason number 2 actually kind of ties into the first reason, which is if you sell your home without using a real estate professional, you are severely limiting the amount of people that are even going to see your home. So your exposure to your home is going to be greatly reduced. When you sell your own home, how are you going to advertise your home? You can post it in a newspaper, you can post it on Facebook, you can post it on something like Craigslist, you can put a sign out front. But the reality are, in this market, in this current age, not a lot of people still look for real estate in newspapers. Very few people are going to drive by and see the sign. Now, you might get some people, but you are not going to get the same amount of exposure, because when you hire a real estate professional, they are going to put your home on the multiple listing service. The multiple listing service is going to literally show your home everywhere in the country. In fact, actually anywhere in the world. So anybody that's looking for a home can see that your home is for sale. So you're going to have a lot more people lining up to look at your home than you're going to have if you're just trying to sell it on your own, because you just don't, unfortunately, have the tools at your disposal that real estate professionals have to advertise your home. This lack of exposure is a good part of the reason why for sale by owners tend to make less money, because you may find a buyer and they may give you full price for your home. However, When you hire a real estate professional, instead of having one buyer, you're going to have a ton of buyers come through. And so you may end up in a situation like is extremely common in this market where you're going to have multiple offers on the table, not just one. So now, instead of getting a full price offer, you're now getting an over asking price offer. And that's part of how real estate professionals can get sellers more money. And the third reason that you should consider before putting your home on the market by yourself is that there are a lot of potential complications. So I said in the beginning that a good real estate professional makes real estate seem easy. But the reality is that a real estate transaction is complicated, and there are a lot of moving parts that all have to work together in order to make everything come together. And if you're not using a real estate professional, you now have to be able to take care of all of those different moving parts. You have to make room in your schedule so that you can show buyers your home. And then you're going to get an offer. Do you know how to negotiate an offer? Do you even know how to write an offer? You can hire an attorney, and yeah, they can write some of the documents for you, but an attorney is not a real estate professional. Their job is not the same as a real estate professional's. They are not going to negotiate for you the same way a real estate professional would, because it's just not their job. From the buyer's end, now you have their lender. So someone has to coordinate with their lender. Are you going to be able to handle that? The lender needs documents. Who's going to send in those documents? Do you know what documents the lender needs? Do you know when they need them? And then let's say they have a home inspection. Do you know how to negotiate based on the findings of a home inspection? Probably not. Do you know that you're not supposed to be home at the home inspection? At least you shouldn't want to be there. You don't want to listen to someone tear apart your home and tell you what's wrong with it. But that's the job of a home inspector, is to look for problems. So it's a little bit later now than when I originally recorded this video, but I just wanted to take a second and add a little bit more context regarding the home inspection. So I apologize if the lighting seems a little bit different than when I recorded earlier. It is much later in the afternoon now. But as far as the home inspection, you know, in addition to not wanting to be home for the home inspection because you don't want to hear a home inspector look for problems with your home, there's also the complications that if a buyer has a home inspection and you are present for it, and there are defects that are found, if that buyer then backs out because of those defects, you as the home seller are required legally to tell all future buyers about the issues that the home inspector found. And even if you're trying to sell your home as is, that does not release you from that legal liability to disclose that information to all future buyers. So not only is it for your benefit to not be there, but also legally you can put yourself in real legal jeopardy if you're present during a home inspection. In another video, I've talked about different types of loans and how different types of loan products will qualify for certain properties. So as a seller, you probably don't know enough about loan products to know whether or not your home is going to qualify for all those loan types. So without having that information, you could end up wasting a significant amount of time going through the process with a buyer that's not going to end up qualifying for your home. You know, let's say you have some peeling paint on your barn and you don't think anything of it because it's not your house, it's your barn. But the reality is USDA and VA and FHA will likely not go for that, because even though it's not the house, it's still on the property. And if it's on the property, it's considered the same standard as the home itself is. You could end up wasting 4-5 weeks before you find out that the buyer can't buy your home anyways. And now you're going to have to start all the way back over from the beginning, 4 to 6 weeks into the process. So you're now behind the 8 ball because you didn't know that this might be a problem. You know, these are all things you have to take into consideration when you decide to sell your own home. Because again, it's a complicated process. There's a lot of parts that have to work together. And if you don't work well and you don't get these parts to work together, then either the deal's going to end up falling apart, or you're going to end up ripping your hair out and trying to hire someone after the fact anyways because you don't know what you're doing. So save yourself the aggravation, save yourself the trouble, and just hire a real estate professional from the beginning, because it's just going to be better for you in the long run. Okay, so it is a seller's market and it is a great time to sell your home. But before you put your home on the market by yourself, These are some things that you really should consider about whether or not it's really worth trying to sell your own home, or whether or not it's in your best interest, both financially as well as just stress-wise, to hire a real estate professional. More often than not, it's really going to be in your benefit to hire a real estate professional. It's probably going to save you a lot of headaches, and it's going to ultimately likely going to save you money or get you more money to hire a real estate professional than it would be to do it on your own. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.